Hello, beautiful muses, and welcome to CosmoMuse Tarot. I'm back with another 5-minute Friday, but I've decided going forward I am going to switch this from being less of a yes-no kind of scenario to more of an insight into your question. So instead of framing your question as a yes or a no, I just want you to bring questions that are on your mind, in your heart, wherever they may pertain to, and we're just going to get sort of a snapshot, quick insight into the subject matter of your question. I've just felt as I've been going along with these yes-nos, I love them, but the longer I've done them, the more and more I've felt a little bit like yes-nos are a little too definitive or too black and white kind of thing. Even though a lot of times it landed on maybe, I don't know. I'm feeling that need to just switch this into a little bit more of insight into your question. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do going forward. I'm going to try and do the same sort of card structure and the typical cards I use in this and see how that goes this first time of kind of switching this up. It may evolve a little from here, but yeah, so it's a little bit of an experiment this time and a little bit of switch more to insight versus yes, no. Okay, that being said, before you pick your pile, I would really get a clear grasp of what your question is and try to make it more open-minded or open-ended instead of phrasing it so it would make sense to get a yes or no. Phrase it so it would make sense to get kind of an insightful answer, insight into something. So why is blah, blah, blah? How is blah, blah, blah? You know, that kind of thing, instead of is or does or when. Yeah, so yeah, how and why are maybe good ways to start it. I'm sure there's other ways to start it. Those are what are popping into mind right now. But phrase it in a way that's a little bit more, yeah, open-ended. Okay, we have 4 piles. These are inspired. You can tell just by looking at these, I went very dark this time. And what inspired that, because I'm doing this right during the initiation into spring, where I am and when I'm doing this. But we are also coming really closely into eclipse season. And so I thought this might be an interesting one to bring this dark black energy in, sort of in, like representing or symbolizing sort of portal energy, because I do see eclipse timing as having somewhat of a portal energy that kind of can really shift our existences. And so that's sort of what the darkness here is meant to be, is like this energy of a portal. And yeah, we'll see. And I do feel like the answers we get right now, and it doesn't matter if you come to this during eclipse season, you could come later, but these answers are being channeled during a time where there is this kind of portal energy, where there are big shifts. So even if you're coming at a totally different time from when this comes up, it's likely you're meant to come to it at that time, and because there's some sort of likely big shift coming for you. Okay, let's look at the different piles. We have pile 1, which is black obsidian. Pile 2, which is blue Orca agate. The other side actually has kind of like a cosmic feeling thing, but I wanted sort of the more plain side. And then pile 3, we've got a really dark colored jade. Definitely is like a very dark green, but it's got black kind of streaks throughout, layers throughout it. And then black tourmaline is pile 4. Okay, for those of you that like the breath work I do to help you with your pile picking, we will jump into that now. Otherwise, you can pause and do your own thing, and timestamps will be in the descriptions. Okay, so place your feet firmly on the ground. Feel that solidity, stability underneath you. And then take a deep breath into that, into your body, really feeling it expand your body, weight into your body, anchor into your body. And then you can exhale that. Now take a deep breath in, and this time suck that oxygen up, up, up into the space between your brows. Hold it there. Suck in a little bit more to add some pressure. And then out loud, exhale. If you need more time to do more of those breaths, you can pause. Otherwise, let that tapping into different beautiful chakras associated with intuition and spiritual guidance help you to tune into these different stones as placeholders for the piles, and ask which one is your most aligned, holds your most aligned message. All right, I will see you in your readings. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your insight into your question, kind of a snapshot, quick insight reading. You guys picked the black obsidian, and before we get to your cards, I just want to bring up some intuitive hits I got off of just your stone as I was shuffling and drawing your cards. Is that I do think there's something around your question. It's sort of a weird sensation. It was like this feeling of grief for like you're needing to like let something go. And it's not like, it doesn't feel like a death to me in a literal or metaphoric sense. It's like something you're ready to, it's more like like you're having to streamline something, which means like cutting away superfluous or dead weight. But some of it's stuff that you maybe have attachments to, but you feel ready at the same time. It's like, yeah, that's from the old and it's time to move forward. So whatever it is like that you're letting go, it's making room for things that are more aligned for where you are now. And so mingled in with maybe some feelings of grief are also some feelings of just feeling ready and feeling a more elegant and refined version of yourself starting to come through, like some polishing, some real efforting you've been putting into something or yourself is like now starting to be seen with that new sheen, that new elegance is what's really coming to mind here, like a new elegance coming through. So even though there's like some grief for what you're having to let go, it's like you're ready and you're really seeing this elegant side of you that's just like a more evolved side of something related to your question or something about you. Okay, let's look at your tarot cards first. So you've got the Chariot in reverse. That feels like the letting go. Ace of Swords, the kind of new, yeah, so like the things you're letting go of, they could have to do with home and family. They could be things that you have deep, like sentimental attachment to. But what's being overpowered here is like the new passion, new sense of power, especially like in your mind or in ideas or in relationships, something there is like a new power really feeling like it's formed and solidified in you, that's giving you kind of a direction, an aha, this thing to really take action upon, that is deterring you from the path maybe you have been on. But it's coming with this just like a new sense of hope for your future, there's a liberation feel here too, but mostly, even more than like a sense of liberation, I'm just getting this sense of like, feeling like you... Okay, sorry, my recording stopped right in the middle of that, but something happened that also illuminates what I was trying to figure out with what I was feeling with this star card beyond, to add context to that liberation feeling, because it didn't feel like I'm liberating from something that's like a system or a person or a thing that's oppressed me, but like liberating from a mystery is what's going on here. I got a call that my phone is sort of involved in this whole process of how I'm recording, and so that call that came in stopped the recording, and it was having to do with some blood work that I had done for my dog. And we've spent years trying to get to the bottom of a problem for him, and this blood work is totally solving what the issue is. And that was an aha for me. I don't take those things at like those, little things that happen during a reading as, just nothing in relation to the reading. I always relate it to. And so for a lot of you, you may be solving some sort of health issue or some sort of issue around your body, even if it's not specifically health, that's making you feel a little bit more enlivened and hopeful about health, body, could even be mental health, but something that's just sort of like, aha, like this thing that's been bothering me for so long, and I've worked so hard to figure it out, and now I get it, but I might have to leave old patterns and habits and comfort zones in how I've treated health, body, mind, whatever it is. It might actually be mental health here. Or this might just be the information that's really empowering you. But yeah, something's really empowering you, but I think there are some habits you're going to have to sort of break or move past. But I think you've already been working really hard on whatever this is and starting to already see results. And so beyond just that, like, I've been looking for the answer forever, I think it's sort of like, oh, I sort of think I know what the answer is. I'm going to be working towards this. And now you're starting to see some results here. And so like encouragement of like, yes, okay, I'm totally in sync with what I thought I was in sync with, kind of thing. Okay, let's look at your astrology here. You have Mars taking action. Message. Yeah, I think some information. I think you've received some information. You've been taking action to already kind of refine how you're going about something or how you're using some ideas or information. It's like you've had ideas about things, you've been gathering information, you've been putting that into motion, and now messages are coming through to confirm what you thought was accurate. And it's really like giving you a solid sense of accomplishment and like really having gotten to the bottom of a mystery, gotten to the roots of something. And that Chariot could actually in reverse be like having descended, because the chariot can be like this ascension energy, like entering our light body and elevating and getting that green light to go forward in something. But I actually feel like this chariot was like a descending to find the roots of something, and you're arriving there. You're at the root of knowledge of what you're needing to help empower you and kind of go forward. Yeah, super cool. Okay, let's look at your oracle cards. Yeah, crown chakra, anyway. Sahasrara. I think Spirit is delivering you the information you need right now, and confirming some things for you and adding on to that things that it wants for you. And then tree, affairs with your family. And that again can be like the roots of things. I think this is more of a metaphor beyond family. It's like getting to the roots of something. So yeah. And then parrot, someone will gossip about all your secrets. I think this is just sort of be careful what you say. Like you maybe have some very powerful information right now that might be quite personal to you, to your health, to your mental health, to your well-being, to certain things like that. And this is just to me, it's just like a simple warning. Like if you don't want certain information out there about this, like don't tell people. Like if this is more private, keep it private. If you don't care if people know, just know that if you do tell people, it will spread for whatever reason. I don't know why, but maybe these are very powerful things you've figured out, and it would actually be helpful to allow people to gossip about it because it would inform others. You know, it might not be a bad thing. But if you don't want journeys you've been through around whatever this pertains to, then don't talk about it with people. Yeah. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. This was a very powerful message, and I hope that you are indeed finding sort of answers and power in what you are understanding and feeling now. All right, I will see you guys in more readings in the future. If this resonated, I always love a thumbs up. Little comments are great, and definitely subscribe if you're not yet. All right, see you guys. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your insight into a question you have right now. And before we really dive into at least the cards that are turned face down, just wanted to bring up sort of my intuition as I kind of felt into your stone and was shuffling and drawing cards. It was interesting because like all that came to me, it was like so vague. It was just like mystery. Like but like a beautiful, alluring, magnetic mystery energy here. And I don't know if it's around something pertaining to your question or around you. But then this card flipped over. So I saw it and it just flipped over. Basically, you know, I barely had to kind of shift it. It was just like, I need to come initially face up, and that helped kind of inform my sense of what was coming through here. It was just like, it did feel more like your personal energy. It's like really coming into this deep trust and respect and confidence in your intuition and just like really owning it. It's like something that's coming through here, and it's giving you a bit of a magnetism that's really powerful. Yeah, so let's see what your other cards say, but there's something important about that. So you have Hanged Man in reverse and Justice in reverse. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, For some of you, there could be some legal questions that you're bringing here. And for others, it could just be something where you're looking for a sense of fairness in potentially a relationship or just some kind of situation in your life. And what I'm sensing is that you either have already dropped into this or you're about to, where I think it's, I'm reading Hanged Man in reverse very differently than I normally would, just because of the image on this. I like to see the Hanged Man when it's in, upright position like this, as dropping into seeing through your heart, which helps you to see where your heart has had changes in its point of view, and being able to shed sort of mind and emotion to be able to drop into the changes of heart to sort of transcend certain situations. And usually when it's in reverse, I would say you're kind of stuck in this or unable to like drop into that. But it's like in this card in the reverse, it's like the sun rises above him. It just feels beautiful, and I feel like this to me is like full circle, like you have been in the reverse where like a process of like kind of resisting seeing through your heart, and certain circumstances have come that have made you kind of just surrender, because there was like not much you could do other than surrender to the situation. And then you've had these ahas and dropped into your heart, and now you're coming full circle and bringing those ahas and that change of heart into your life and spreading more light into things, and actually coming into transcending some kind of circumstance that's had like a stalemate, or that's felt very unfair, or this ability to just like move on from something that's unfair, even if it's still unfair, but just like, I know what I need for me though, and I need to move on, or I know exactly how now to establish that balance. I get much more of a sense that you may be moving on from something that's unfair, and just recognizing that there's not much you can do about that, and it's time to move towards what you do want, rather than fixating on this thing that you can't change, and having a transcendent moment in that fact of like, I am done being stuck in this. It's never going to be it's like the scales are tipped in a way that it's never going to work, and this situation is never going to work in my favor. It's never going to feel fair. And even though that may suck, like, I have this new insight and this new intuition about what I do want, that I can control. And so I'm transcending this situation in terms of just detaching from caring so much about it, and putting my care and my heart and my focus towards things that I'm newly feeling arrive in my heart that I do want for me. And that's helping me to walk away in this situation. Okay, let's look at your astrology here. Second house, it could be financial situations. Your leadership or creativity could be involved. Your industry or groups and friendships could be involved here. I just get a sense that all of these things are entangled in what you're walking away from, and entangled in what you're walking towards. It's just a shift from like how you've valued life and yourself, how you've found sort of a sense of creativity and leadership, and how you've used that to plug into groups, to plug into friendships, or to plug into your industry. And you're just seeing all of these things with in a totally new light. You're seeing new horizons, you're seeing new things to walk towards, and things that are much more aligned and coming from a deep, soulful, intuitive place that the more you walk towards a new connection to these things, the more you're able to walk away from how you have had some unfair entanglement in these areas in the past. And sometimes the way situations happen, even though they seem really unfair and probably are very unfair, it can sometimes be the universe just pushing you out of something that's not right for you anymore, so that you can start to see what is right for you. And sometimes it has to do that through things that feel very unfair. And so it's not pardoning whatever was entangled in certain situations. That's going to be their karma to reap. And certainly when there are injustices, people will reap karmas, but it's not your job here. You're no longer, I think the universe is saying, you're no longer involved in this karmic exchange. You've cleared your karma, even though in the human sense of justice, it may not seem fair to you. Like cosmic karma you've had here, you've gone to where you've needed to go, and you're moving past certain things towards your dharma, towards your more destined and aligned future. And so stay very connected to your intuition, stay connected to changes of heart that you feel ready to act upon, and leave karma you've cleared in the past, and let other people have their karma however the universe wants to deliver that. And sometimes it's even in a different lifetime, but it's no longer for you to be worried about how that's going to happen. You're done with this situation. I think it's what's saying. Walk towards a new enlightenment, new heart scene around how you value yourself and life, how you want to feel creatively involved in life, and potentially industry groups or friendships you want to be involved in. Look at all these hands here. It's like a lot of involvement in where do you want to make your mark on humanity? It's not where you've come from, it's where you're going. Okay, let's look at your oracle cards. Ajna, intuition, like stay really in touch with your inner knowing. It knows, like just trust it right now. There's so much trust being asked of you, but I think that you're really coming into that and understanding the power of that within you. Target, a goal-oriented person, and I think it's your inner knowing. Make your new targets based on your intuition, your inner knowing of where you should be going, not what you should stay entangled in. Egg, success assured with good plans and hard work. Yeah, look towards your future. There's new things coming, new enlightenment being felt, new avenues, new paths, new totally kind of new existences coming into focus. And it's saying use your ability to, both of these are like goal oriented, good with plans. Use that ability you have through your intuition toward your future and what you do want to create. Yeah, beautiful. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up. Little comments are fun to read, and definitely subscribe if you're not already. All right, see you guys. Hello, pile 3. Before we jump into the insight into your question, I just wanted to talk real quick about an intuitive hit I got from your stone as I was focusing on it and sort of shuffling and drawing your cards. I initially just got this thing of like something stubborn here, but not in like an angry or toxic type of way. It was a stubborn in terms of like, I think there's something that you're needing to move on from, look at new horizons, look towards new horizons and kind of leave certain things in the past. But I think there's like a little bit of a stubbornness around maybe holding on too tightly to things that are just, you know, outlived their purpose in your life. But let's take a look at your tarot first and see if we can get any insight there. Four of Swords. This is in reverse. Queen of Coins. And 10 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, this is definitely talking about certain things you're needing to like, I think you're maybe stuck in some sort of a tension with someone else in your life or around an issue in your life. I don't feel it so much as just an inner tension about you, only focused on you. There's something else outside of your life that's tense. And the feeling I'm getting here from what I'm seeing is it's like time to move on from this. Like there's not, I don't think there's like a really easy way to solve whatever this is. And it's just time to try and like truce this. Like it's not, like I think there is a way to truce this, but you're being stubborn about it. So it's like not something that you need to walk away from without it being resolved. I feel like there is something that needs to be resolved here, but it's requiring you to call some sort of truce, to put down the daggers, to put down the needing every little thing to be ultimately fair or to go your way. It's just like you need to think about your mental health here and your future here. And there is something I feel like you can do right now that would create a truce and that would just allow this issue to be moved on from. So it's like find that cooperation, even if it's you having to be a bigger person in something. Find that compromise that you're willing to make, and in whatever you do compromise or cooperate in, rather than thinking so much about the issue at hand, you need to think about your mental health, because something is really affecting that. And I think within you, what is coming out and what is maybe motivating you to find a way to kind of put down the swords and find that truce or compromise or whatever it is you need to do to kind of be able to just, lay down the back and forth of tension here. It's like this new sense of valuing yourself too much to be stuck in this any longer. I think that part of you that values yourself has a lot of messages for you about different horizons and new things that have much calmer energy, that have much more aligned and much more fruitful and beautiful energy and a lot more hope associated with it. This is what you're going to find. This part of you already exists, is trying to get your attention. I think you've already heard its voice a little bit, but the more you can find ways to lay down this tension, the more this voice will come through and show you a way forward to something that is just better. Yeah, well, let's look at your astrology cards. Yeah, I'm just getting so much energy about this Queen of Coins. If you can just move past whatever this tension is outside of you, this it's like an interaction. I don't know if it's a circumstance, a person, a job, whatever's giving you a sense of tension outside of you. If you can find a way to resolve that tension, fair or not, but just move past it and resolve it however it's needing to be resolved, getting in touch with that really noble spirit inside of you that knows what's best for you and understands your inherent value and says, I just need to go where that value is more aligned, the more you will find that, and you will find beauty, you'll find connection, you'll find your strength, you'll find alignment, you'll find sun, warmth. So hopefully motivation aplenty to help you just move into out of some stubbornness you're having right now into some sort of compromise and looking towards your future and moving towards different, more calm, more aligned, more powerful shores that match your inherent worth, that you know you are, where you know your worth is more appropriately seen and used and free. Okay, let's look at your oracle cards. Vishuddha, move through your heart. Yeah, your heart has, move into some heart scene here. What does your heart want? What is your heart trying to tell you? I think it's saying that whatever you're wrapped up in right now is just kind of like ravaging your mental health. It's just time to see through your heart, and it will guide you towards this Queen of Pentacles energy that really knows your worth and knows how to command it, but needs to see and move toward places, people, things where it's more aligned. And your heart knows how to get you in touch with that and how to steer you towards where that part of you should be. Lobster, financial pinch. Yeah, this might be related to, some sort of a financial settlement or some sort of income issue, dispute with like your work. You're not getting your fair payment, whether that's income or a dispute about like a one-time kind of settlement of something. But there's some compromise in this moment that needs to be made that will help you to move on toward a much better situation where your financial picture will be much more allowed to flourish and have strength. Basket, recognition, reward for merit. I think that's what lies ahead if you're able to move on from this, find a way to settle something and move on. I think you will have new wisdom, have come through some battle wounds of some sort, hence know how to better align yourself and what to look for in terms of red flags, and knowing just so much more what you're worth, where your talents and skills are going to be valued, and so knowing how to find that right alignment of where you will get your recognition and reward for merit. And I think whatever you're looking for in the current situation, you're not going to find. So it's just like, find a way to settle this. And like, it's like the minute you do and you move on, all that you've been looking for, that financial payout and some recognition will just arrive, but in this newly packaged form, because you've moved to where these things you've cultivated in you immediately are seen and immediately are rewarded. So that's what's coming through here. So it could, just move yeah, settle this thing. It's just, I just get the sense that it's going to be never ending. So find the compromise you need to make, even if that sounds shitty, because moving on is where you're going to get what you want. All right, interesting. That was a pretty potent message for you guys. And obviously use your own intuition, consult experts in whatever you're dealing with here. This is a general reading, so take and leave what feels very resonant to you, and trust yourself to make decisions for you here. But there were definitely some potent messages coming through. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up. Little comments are definitely fun to peruse. And lastly, subscribe if you're not yet. All right, I'll see you guys in more readings in the future. Hello, Pile 4. Welcome to your 5-Minute Friday insight into a question on your mind. You guys picked the Black Tourmaline, and an intuitive hit I got off of this, combined with some cards I already saw that sort of flipped over in my process, was from the stone. I got this sense of like you have really been able to surrender and let go of something that was already on its way out in your life, and just a sense of release. It feels like a sense of release, a sense of freedom, and a sense of feeling a new quality of like glimmer within you. I don't know if that, hopefully that makes sense. And then on top of that, as I was shuffling, some cards kind of like flipped over within the deck, and there was an 8 of Wands, but it like, I tried to pull it out because I felt like it was meant for you since I saw it, but it just, the way the cards were being fumbled, it just like got shuffled back into the deck before I could like get it out, because it's sort of a mess. But that gave me this insight that like, because you've been able to just sort of release something else is coming in very, very quickly. And that was the sense I got, because that was sort of the first thing that happened with the cards, and then everything else came out very quickly. All of your cards popped out so quickly, and it was like, yeah, well, I think the 8 of Wands just wanted to tell me, it's maybe not part of the subject matter of your reading, but it just wanted that quick message of like, something's happening quickly here. But what did come from that kind of fumbling was the card I thought was going to be the 8 of Wands that kind of got reshuffled back in. I pulled out and turned over, but it was the 2 of Wands. And I just turned it over and let it be there. I didn't really think much of it, but now as I'm getting to this, it makes sense. It's like a new, just like at the intro of this reading, I talked about there being portal energy at the moment. 2 of Wands is definite portal energy. It is finding, but it's a process. It's like, it's like you have a stake in the ground and another stake that should create the doorway, but you're kind of trying to find the right way to orient the doorway to walk through. And specifically with this particular 2 of Wands, look for premonitions. There's something assisting you here. Watch for synchronicities. There's some guidance coming in to help you to plant that second stake in the right place so that that portal you walk through is oriented just right. So don't try to intellectualize, like, because I think you're about ready to walk through a new path in something in your life. Don't don't intellectualize it. Look for the signs, look for the symbols, wait for the aha. It will just come. So just be aware to, of those. Just stay aware, and you'll know, it'll be made clear to you when that guidance is coming through, or the aha, the downloads received, or a synchronicity, or a message, whatever it is. But just stay aware so that you pick up that thing that comes through that's going to help you to orient your path. Okay, your other two tarot, you have Strength and Six of Cups reversed. The Six of Cups reversed feels to me like this sort of like walking away from like past things, past conditioning. To me, it feels like conditioning. You're walking away from a certain conditioning of having to feel like you have to be a certain way in the world. Because these other two cards are fiery. To me, it's not so much about like what you're doing in the world or what you're focusing on. It's like your being, like how you should be in the world or be with yourself. There's some conditioning around that has held you back from being in your true strength. And that strength then from, being true to your heart, it's like that's prevented you from seeing those right portals for you. But like you're getting it now, you're moving on from some conditioning around how you're supposed to just be, that's allowing your heart more access to lead you and to find its strength and to kind of step out in life. And your heart is the thing I think that's going to be directing you to that right orientation and the right portal. So wait for those heart moments that like, yes, that's what I want. Your heart will say that, like that portal, that way, that direction, that thing, that person, whatever it is for you. You'll feel it in your heart. It will just be like, oh, I have to have this. That is me. That is how I'm supposed to be. That is me being what I'm supposed to be. That's where it wants to go. That's where I want to be. That's what I want to do, that kind of thing. But it's like first getting into your heart, after you've already shed certain conditioning and you're already feeling, it's a luminous thing. You're already feeling your luminosity coming to life in a way it hasn't been able to with this conditioning that has been on you. Okay, let's look at your astrology. So you've got, I love this, North Node, Descendant, and Chiron. Yes, you have done so much healing. You've shed old skins. You've looked at your wounds. You've taken the time to clean them out, to face the wounds, to understand them, and to release them. And because of this, you are now able to find your true north. You're able to line up those pathways, those opportunities with your heart knowing, with your authenticity, and move forward very quickly with things. And for some of you, there may be some relationship orientation here. If you're already in a relationship, there may be some like new ways of connecting in that, deepening and finding better direction within that. If you're single, it may be knowing, using your heart so much better and finding those right connections, right people to build trust with. It doesn't even have to be in love. It can be business partners, friendships, people, finding those right heart, finding heart connections, and finding those heart connections that will lead to deep trust and to deeper commitment in your life and to just much healthier relationships coming through here in a big way. And those relationships maybe being a big part of your openings, your paths forward in all sorts of areas in your life. But there's something important here about, I think, your heart really desiring very trustworthy, deep relationships in your life, and establishing those is one path coming through, but through those more heart-aligned openings and directions and opportunities I see coming through here. Okay, let's look at your oracle card, Solar. Yeah, your heart is really opening. So gorgeous. Stay with what feels luminous to you. Stay with those things that that move you. Not because of what you think you're supposed to do or what society dictates or what expectations are placed on you. Do things out of feeling moved to do them. And like so many new directions and beautiful harmonies will be coming through that door. You guys, yeah, quickly coming in. Opportunities are waiting for you. Yeah, use your heart to find the right connections, to find the right doorways, to just stay true to you, and don't walk through doors unless you feel like moved to. Because I think a lot of doors are going to be presenting themselves, and you don't have to go through all of them. You shouldn't go through all of them. Bull, do not back down from opposition, so show strength and fortitude. And I think that completely relates to what I just said. You don't have to say yes to every opportunity, to every door. And I think you need to be very stubborn and bullish about saying no to certain things if you're not moved by them, and sticking up for that. Where I think in the past, maybe if opportunities or attention or things came your way that aligned with what you were conditioned to think were aligned for you, you would say yes more from this conditioned place rather than that heart yes of feeling moved to be like yes, So be really stubborn about that. Gorgeous reading, you guys. Beautiful, beautiful insight coming through for you, and things coming in real quick, it seems like. So use this portal time that I'm tapping into for this reading to just like really make some shifts through your heart. All right, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. If this resonated, I always appreciate a thumbs up. Little comments are always fun to peruse, and definitely subscribe if you are not yet. And I will see you in readings in the future. See you guys.